Hello, my name's David Schwartz, and today we're going to go over Meeting of the Spirits by John McLaughlin, as recorded in the Mahavishnu Orchestra album Intermounting Flame. This is an important composition for me because when I was in high school it provided a bridge between rock and jazz, as I'm sure it has for many people, and it gave me direction in my musical life. Before we begin, I just want to go over some basic technique issues. I'm going to assume that most of you watching this have an intermediate to advanced understanding of guitar technique and music theory. Some of the chord shapes, picking patterns, and finger patterns may be foreign to some of you and may take some time to get used to. I encourage everyone to keep at it and not get discouraged. This song is not necessarily hard, it's just fast, and if you practice efficiently, speed will come with time. I do want to mention, though, that locking your right hand on the bridge will give you greater speed and control overall, so I just wanted you to keep that in mind. When practicing this, I recommend playing without any effects or distortion. Playing clean will give you a greater awareness of your weaknesses and will allow you to correct yourself. You don't want to have a bunch of gain or distortion on there because that tends to kind of mush things up a little bit. I'm going to go over each section of the song, but I really want you to listen to the recording to piece all these sections together, with the exceptions of the intro, which we're going to go over in a few seconds here, which is basically played rubato with a lot of cues. I'll play each section 3 times, one at roughly half tempo, another at about 3/4 tempo, and then the other one at full tempo. Of course, you can always set your metronome to a slower tempo if you're having difficulties. So let's begin here. The intro is a series of quite dissonant chords, and we'll go over all of them one by one, and then I'll play the whole section for you. I better turn on my amp here, otherwise you're not going to hear anything. Okay, so the first chord we have is this. To form this chord, think of like an open A minor chord like this, and then slide the shape up to the 5th fret, and then place your 4th finger on F, which is located on the 5th string on the 8th fret. To make this reach a little easier for you, I keep your fingers close to the fret wire, and that'll make the stretch a little bit less painful for you. Now the bass is not actually F. The bass is actually D flat. So if I had to name this chord, I'd call it like D major sharp 9, or D flat major sharp 9. Sorry. For the next chord, we just take the shape that we have and slide it up 1 fret. The bass is still D flat. So just for simplicity's sake, I'd call this one like D major sharp 9 over D flat. Next we have this chord, which is, I'd call D7 sharp 9 with an added 5th. This chord's pretty easy to form. Just make your basic kind of F sharp dominant 9th chord and then move your fingers up 1 string each. And then remember not to play the high E string. Next we've got this chord. And just simply form a C minor chord, regular C minor chord like this, but we're going to drop the index finger, or the 1st finger, down 1 fret to B. So we got that pretty easy. So you could just call this chord C minor over B. Next we have this chord here. To form it, just think of a C 7 sharp 9 chord, but then take your 3rd finger and move it up 1 fret. And then the chord is over E, or the low E string. Also bar your 1st finger here to include the F sharp. So overall you could call this chord C major sharp 9 sharp 11 over E. The next chord we have is F over E. Think of the shape of like a D chord, but start it on the 5th fret and then bar your finger over the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. Then put your your middle finger on the F located on the 6th fret on the B string, and then just take your third finger and throw it up here on the E, which is located on the A string on the 7th fret. Like that. Also make sure that you're muting the D string with your third finger, so you don't want to hear that one. The next chord we have is F over G. I'm sorry, G over, no wait. What is this chord? Yes, G over F. Bar your first finger over the first 3 strings. Take your ring finger and put it up on the B string on the 8th fret. Then take your middle finger and put it on the A string on the 8th fret. So we got those. The next 2 chords are pretty simple. Oh, and also remember to still mute the D string with your second finger here. The last 2 chords are pretty easy, as I was saying. We have G over A, which is just a G major triad with an A in the bass. So it's formed like this. So put your 4th finger on the D string on the 5th fret, middle finger goes on the 3rd string on the 4th fret, and index finger goes on the 2nd string on the 3rd fret, and then your 3rd finger goes on the 6th string on the 5th fret. And then finally we've got F over G, and we just take the shape that we have here, move it down 2 frets, but bar your first finger over the high E string here. And still remember to mute out the A string with your 3rd finger. So there we have it. We've got all the chords. Just remember, if you need to, pause the screen and look to where I'm putting my fingers, feel free to do that. So I'm going to play all these chords together now, so you get an idea of what they sound like. So there we have it. I kind of flubbed a couple notes here and there, but whatever, it's okay. So once you get that down, feel free to proceed to the next video, and in that video we'll be going over the rest of the opening section and the melody, and if we have enough time in the video, we'll go over the nice little, I guess the B section or little interlude section with that nice fast ascending line to it. But have a good time with this, and I'll see you in the next video.